like 9 minutes we're talking?
Or now. We can do it now. We're hanging out, so it's up to you. If you got the time, we got the time.
I got the time, but sometimes 9 minutes goes a long way in your day. So if you want me to hit you back in 9 minutes, I can do that, no problem.
No, we're good. We are very good.
If you
Thanks for hanging out, man. How are things?
Things are good, here at the studio, doing some press, working on some stuff. We did some live songs for BBC One, so excited about all that. And just getting ready for an album to come out.
I was going to say, congratulations on it coming out on Friday. It's been a journey, I guess would be a good way to describe it, because it's been one of those kind of unpredictable ways that You're Welcome has made its way to us finally, right?
Definitely. It's been a journey, to say the least. Supposed to come out in 2019 before all this happened, and got pushed back to now. So it has been a journey, like I said, to say the least. So we ended up finishing the last little bits of the music on the tour we did in the States with Beartooth and I Prevail, the Degenerates tour. That's where we wrapped up the recording. And then the rest of it's been mixing, mastering, and working on artwork. And we just did not anticipate how much not being able to be in a room with someone and have to do everything through email was going to slow us down. But here we are. Record's finally coming out, and we're excited.
How many times did you start and stop a project in the middle of this and trying to attempt things with technology and those sort of things between you and the fellas?
So the best example of that is the album artwork, just because there were so many different people that submitted stuff for it, and there were many times where it was just like we'd go down the rabbit hole with someone and it just wouldn't pan out the way we were happy with. And then it really was those moments where you just throw your hands up, like, I don't even know where we go next. Like, not being able to, I can't even be in a room with the guys, you know what I mean? Much less this artist. So that definitely was a struggle for us. And like I said, having to relay every little gripe or note over email was tiresome.
I'm looking forward to checking out the album in its entirety. One of the cool things about You're Welcome is we've been able to, at least over the last calendar year or so, get a pretty good sneak peek at some of the tracks. You guys have released a couple of the singles off of the album, so we kind of have an idea. And maybe I'm jumping to conclusions, and tell me if I'm wrong, but first track on the album is Brick Wall. Last track on the album is the single you guys just released, Everything We Need. And so it seems like it's really going on kind of like a journey from something that maybe is aggressive to something that's a little bit lighter. Is that accurate in that statement? Does it really kind of take us on that as well?
Yeah, 100%. So that's really what Brick Wall was meant to do. Originally, we weren't going to put that out before the record came out. But it felt right to release something else a little bit heavy. The purpose of Brick Wall was hopefully to have people put the record in. You're listening to it, and all of your expectations, the goal was to have those be stripped away by the time you get to the end of that track, because it's like nothing we've ever made before. Yeah. It's still heavy. It's not a comfortable ride, it's got some like jarring, extreme drops in tempo in heavy parts, and it's meant to get to the end of that and people to be like, I have no idea what to expect from this album. And you're damn right you can't expect what's coming next. That's exactly what we want you to feel. So you say you've got a good idea. What you've got a good idea of is that it's going to be many things in one. And it's very much like somebody described it as a musical roller coaster. And that is perfect. Kevin Scaff, our guitar player, was actually the one who put the track listing together. And he put it together in a way to where it had those hills and valleys. And we like to do that in our live sets. So you can take people up here and you have this like extreme, like heavy song that everybody loves. And then you slowly bring them back down, give them a break, give them time to relax and recover, and like take them to a new place, mentally, and like just calming down, and then like hit them again out of nowhere, like that roundhouse, you know what I mean? So we very much put the record together like that to hopefully entertain everybody.
Well, I mean, it sounds like you guys had a really fun time developing those ideas and coming up with that. Is it different from your previous albums in that way, or is this just part of the journey?
It's definitely different, just more so that there's a lot of different influences on this record. Like one of the songs that feels like a heavier rock song has like flamenco classical guitar for the verses, and that's like the main thing you hear. And then it has like a super heavy like rock drop for the hook. And it just lives in like a darker thematic and like feel sonically. So I don't know. The whole thing was just cool to make and almost freeing. So like just to bring in all these different influences that we haven't done yet. So we've been slowly doing stuff like that over the years, but not as extreme as we did for this one. And it just felt like the right time to do it. You know, we did the let's get in a room, write a record on the spot, no preparation. What comes out, super dry record with bad vibrations. And so for this one, it was very much like, let's write a record using the A Day to Remember formula, but using modern influences. So if A Day to Remember existed for the first time this year or 2019, what would that sound like? It wouldn't have been pop punk and breakdowns. It would have been something else in heavy parts. And that was it. We very much wanted to put a record together that felt like new A Day to Remember, not rewriting the same songs. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally. And, you know, it does seem you've always been a hands-on guy in the studio when it comes to producing the records and putting that together. I could be wrong, but maybe you did take some time off from that particular role in Bad Vibrations. Was it nice to get back into the producer role for Your Welcome and get back into things and do a little bit more hands-on stuff in the studio?
It was. Bad Vibrations was very much me outside of my comfort zone and very much about everybody's experience. And that was the goal, to really be like, let's make a band album, the band that we are today, all five of us, no outside influence really, and let's just write what we write, like we were a garage band. And that was like the purpose of that record, to make everybody feel heard, to make everybody like an integral part of every single bit of the record. And then this one was very much more so like, okay, we did that, let's get back to normal. you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So this one was more like everybody went off to their own corners, you know, wrote what they wanted. And then like all albums, you know, we went over what we liked and put it all together. And it was very much a fluid, evolving process. And now we have Your Welcome.
But it's awesome. We're looking forward to hearing all of it. And, you know, we were very lucky a few years ago to have you guys come in here in studio and play for us. And we got a chance to see you break down stuff acoustically. I mean, you just did live at the audio compound. You know, what was the inspiration for that? And, you know, one of the first versions I think I've heard of Everything We Need was the acoustic version, which was really amazing as well.
Yeah. That was a first for us, debuting a song live. So we were excited to do that. And it's just cool because like that version was more stripped than the studio version. So to me, it was like we treated it like this could be someone's favorite version. You know what I mean? So that was the goal with that. We did that because people have been asking for an acoustic record from us for years. And if it means a lot to you, our acoustic song off of Homesick is currently our biggest song of all time. So it just made a lot of sense. Like, let's just get in a room. Let's do some different versions of songs that people wouldn't expect, like Resentment, a song that's mainly heavy, being done acoustically. Just seeing the name Resentment go across your screen, I felt like was going to make people be like, how the hell are they going to do this?
Yeah.
You know, and then like that piano comes in for the breakdown and it has like a jazzy piano solo. And it's like, I had no idea that this would work so well, but it does. It actually works better because I thought it was going to be a train wreck. You know? So, yeah, it was just something we've always wanted to do. And, you know, it was a good time to do it. You know, people were told they were going to get this album in 2019. So we wanted to give them above and beyond since, you know, they had to wait so long and have been patient.
And, you had mentioned people have been kind of clamoring for an acoustic version for a while. Did this add fuel to your fire? Or now can you say, hey, listen, you've got the live stream, guys. Enjoy that. We're going to go back to the plugged in kind of stuff.
No, I mean, me personally, my parents bought me an acoustic guitar first. So home for me as a musician is just me and an acoustic guitar. So a ton of the songs that people know of ours started out that way, just me and an acoustic guitar. And, I always kind of pictured how it would be electric, and would bring it to the guys and say, let's play it this way. But the vast majority of those songs start off that way anyway. So for me, that's my wheelhouse. For everybody else in the band, not so much, but me, I'm right at home there.
Awesome. Do you have going back around to the artwork, the artwork for the album? Why is that so important for you guys when it's presented, the artwork for You're Welcome?
We just like everything that we put out to have some substance. I just feel like people having those moments of discovery, like when you watch a great movie, you watch a good movie and you're like, man, I really enjoyed that. I'm going to watch that again. There was a bunch of stuff there. And then you catch all these little things after the fact that you didn't even realize were there that tie in with all this other stuff. And you're like, hey man, did you notice in this movie, this happens and this happens and this means that. And you have those moments of rediscovery that make you fall in love with something on a deeper level. You know what I mean? So we do that in our songs. We do that in our production. We do that in our lyrics. And we do that in our album artwork. And it was important for us to also have this record have artwork that meant that to us, that had deep connections to the music, to the lyrics, and to do little cool creative things that not everybody is going to notice. And someone will, and then someone tells that person and this person. And then it's this cool thing where people have those moments that are special. I really think that that's a big, big part of making people revisit something. And I don't think you can quite put your finger on, it's just the music. It's just the lyrics. It's just the person. It's just the artwork. I think it's everything. And that's very much how we approach every project we do. It's how can we make this a complete experience for someone to fall in love with and hopefully revisit forever.
I feel that that's the same way with your live shows as well. I mean, it's one of the things I fell in love with the Day to Remember as a live band. When I finally saw you guys in person and putting it together, I was like, man, here's a band that gets it because it's an experience and everybody's having a good time. It's so much fun to see you live and be a part of that experience. And so from that angle, doing the acoustic live experience that you guys just did, I imagine it was probably pretty cool to be in a room together again, finally, but also a whole different kind of energy to it too, right?
Yeah, and a lot of that was due to what you said. We hadn't been in a room together since Thanksgiving of the year prior. I hadn't even seen anyone.
Wow.
Or just everybody in the room, everybody on the project got tested, and we all created our own little bubble. So we were being as safe as we could be. And for the first time since this all happened, I walked into a room and I realized it halfway through the day, and I said something to everybody. I was like, hey, do you realize we're just in a room right now and no one's thinking about it?
Yeah.
It's how cool is that? I walked in here and I felt like a normal human being again for the first time. So that energy's in it too. I did see people roasting us a little bit because of how serious and stern we look, but I promise you that's just because we were focusing really hard to not fuck up. We had probably done 5 takes at that point. We're like, okay, don't fuck this up again. Don't fuck this up
again. Jeremy from A Day to Remember joins us. You're welcome, of course, the new album from Day to Remember getting ready to come out, which is amazing. Talk about the weird, adventure you've been on with this album. And then on top of it, still, in spite of everything, releasing it during a pandemic and everything, which of course is learning things as you go as well. Usually around this time, you probably will be on the road performing songs from it and getting people hyped for it. So are we even in the state where you guys can figure out what comes next, or how do we get in this particular version for getting your welcome out to the people, or even shows down the road or anything like that?
I think the next thing we're going to do is we're going to try to put together a cool live stream event or like a pre-recorded live event where we put a lot of effort into production and doing a lot of cool visuals of us playing these songs live, and really presenting that for people. So I think that's going to be the first thing that we do, so that we can get some live performances of these songs out to the public, because, you know, this year's inevitably not going to be a normal one as well. But this year's a lot more optimistic than last year was. Last year felt pretty bleak. This one, you know, at least you can say maybe. And I like a world where you can say maybe. So I'm looking forward to it. And regardless of what we're capable of doing, we're going to get back to work. So whether that's playing live shows later this year, hopefully, or whether that's just getting back in the studio and writing until we can be normal again, like, we're going to do whatever we can.
Awesome. Well, we're looking forward to getting to see you again one day. Not sure when that is, but we're going to see it. Man,
I've been saying this too to people. It's like, the people that get to see these bands the first 2 weeks, man, I just can't even, it's going to be an emotional experience. You know what I mean? For everybody. Yeah, so sure. I can't wait. You know, I keep hearing people talk about, is the world going to go back to the way it was? And it's just like, of course, eventually. You just can't tell me. Like, think of how many things that have happened to humanity that we've gotten through over time. You know what I mean? Like, big viruses have hit us before, and look at how we were living before this. You can't tell me that we're not going to figure it out and be in a better place on the other side of this. So I can't wait for that day. Looking forward to it.
For sure, brother. Well, Jeremy, thank you for making time for us. We appreciate it. I cannot wait to go on this roller coaster, as you put it, for your welcome. It feels like it's ready. I'm ready to go on it. And I appreciate the time, man. Thank you very much for spending it with us, dude. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having us, man. We appreciate everything right now, especially during all this. So thank you guys.
All right. You take care of yourself, man.
Yeah, you too. Take it easy.
Thanks. Bye-bye.